What's good, everyone? This is Artist of Truth, and welcome to my vlog entry. Oh, Lord. What? Yeah, I know it's been a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Typically, you can find me on Tictok with all of my controversial information. Of course, my Tictok name will be in the bio section of this video. But for those of you who are not following me, you might want to follow me while that profile is still up. Yeah, the TikTok, they just like right there on the edge. They about ready to kick your boy off, but I'm just like, hey, it is what it is. My life will still continue without social media anyway. But what is it? What is it with this whole transgendering nonsense? Like, why is it that the transgender community is forcing their lifestyle choosing down the throats of most people in this country? And then furthermore, they want to take it a step forward, and then they want to push it off into other countries, into other nations like Ghana, right? Wow, when I tell you, I think it was Ghana or Nigeria, one of the two. And you know what they actually said? They said, no, we're not doing that. If that's what y'all want to do, then feel free to do that over in your country. But we're not accepting it here in our country, on our land. Help me understand, why is it that this European westernized delusional ways, why is it they want everyone else in the country to accept that? And then they want everyone else outside of the country in other nations to accept that level of delusional, that level of delusionality. That's what I call it. A level of delusionality. I know somebody would be like, that's not a word. It's a word today, bitch. Mind your business. But it's like, why are you forcing it on people? And then those who are uncomfortable and they don't feel comfortable with accepting that, you want to attack them, undermine them, belittle them, call them cowards, call them fearful. Oh, he's transphobic, he's homophobic, and all sorts of stuff like this. I'm like, look, what are you? Like, seriously, what are you? Who are you that you are so special? And I do mean special, but I don't mean that in a nice way. Who are you all that you are so special and above everyone else that you feel like, oh, you all should accept us for who we are, our pronouns and all this other nonsense? Oh, you need to address us by our pronouns. Why? Like, help me understand that. Why? To make you feel good? Like, why? So if I feel uncomfortable saying those things or using those pronouns, it's like, what about how I feel? Does that even matter? Because if you tell me, oh, it doesn't matter, oh, okay, well, fuck you mean. Don't tell me, oh, address me as ma'am, but I'm looking in your face and you got facial hair and you have masculine features. And you want to call yourself transgender? Again, I'm not here to attack. I'm just here to state my own personal viewpoint, because I've been slapped with that once so far. Was in a public space, and I greeted the guy, and he quickly stopped me before I had a chance to say anything else. He was like, "No, I'm address me as ma'am." I was like, Not in this lifetime, my friend. I don't subscribe to that at all, bro. And that's exactly what I said. He stood there and he stared me down, and I just gave him that casual look like, fuck you gonna do? I was like, mm-mm. See, you know, I'm a loving person, but if you try to force something upon me and then you expect me to just go along with the get along gang, I don't do that. Uncle Phil doesn't do that at all. Artist of Truth does not jump along with the bandwagon of other individuals. I mean, you do what you do, but don't try and force anything down my throat. Like, pause. You don't do stuff like that. I'm a grown man. I know how to think for myself. I have my own morals, integrity, and standards that I stand on. And nobody, and I repeat, nobody is going to force me off my box. Just like I'm not trying to force transgenders off of their box. Look, you stand on your square and you stay in your lane. But to come out and tell me as an individual, oh, you need to address me as such. Nah, I ain't doing that. Fuck you, me. You better go on here, try that with somebody else, because that will be a no-win battle with me. So, in other news, over in London, this was so funny, a transgender woman, better known as a biological man dressed up as a female, ran a marathon in London and beat 14,000 other biological women at a marathon race. But what was so comical about it was he was like, well, if every, you know, it's such a controversy, then I'll give the medal back, but I'm not apologizing. There was a lot of controversy behind that. But also, beforehand, he took part in another marathon that was a men's marathon. See what I mean? It's like these men and any other delusionalized minded males that portray themselves as a woman or as a transgender, and you haven't transitioned nowhere. You haven't transitioned nowhere at all. It's like, what the heck? Why are you calling yourself transgender and you haven't transitioned nowhere? The only thing you transitioned into is thinking that you could be a biological woman, but you never will be. You know why? It's because your temple is by God's design, not man's, not what you think, not what you're feeling at that point in time in that dimension in your mind, but it's by God's design. And individuals out here that are getting these surgeries, guess what? They catching hell in high water. Some would say, well, I didn't think I would have to go through all this. Then you have to take hormone pills. It's like, what the heck? What kind of society are we living in? And then they want to force it upon your children. And then as parents, if you speak against it, they want to take a lawsuit against you. I read an article, it was a video where a woman questioned about the curriculum that was being taught to her child. And the teachers union took action against her, threatened to sue her. I was like, all because she didn't harm anyone. She was asking questions about a curriculum that involved teachings of transgenderism. Like, wow. They want to penalize parents. Like, how that work? How that work, Sway? I was like, and then it's like, I really don't understand why aren't more women vocal about this, especially the feminists. I would have expected the feminist movement to have a stronger push than what they got right now. They ain't pushing on nothing. The feminists, they hate men so daggone much, but it seems like they'll go somewhere and sit down and be very, very quiet about transgenderism. I don't know. But it's weird. It's very, very weird, and it's greatly uncomfortable, you know. But I guess, hey, I guess for civilized people, I should say, for civilized people, it's like we have specific orders just to accept whatever is being thrown in front of us, as if we have no say-so, as if everyone else around us is uncomfortable, so we have to make them comfortable, even though a lot of us feel greatly uncomfortable and we don't even want our children being involved in it. But then we become scalded about that. But hey, what can you say, ladies and gentlemen? I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning thinking of this. And then it was like, it just popped into my head before I went to sleep. This is by God's design, This is by God's design. This is by Allah's design. So everything man is doing, being disobedient, dishonorable, not upholding God's commandments, not man's commandments, because man don't mean shit. Man's law don't mean nothing. But I was like, God damn, if God destroyed a city full of individuals who were practicing certain types of lifestyles, and it seems like history repeats itself, and that same thing is going on right now today. If you think for 1 minute that God isn't going to turn right back around and shake shit up again, just going back to sleep. Yeah, just going back to sleep. Don't even worry about anything that artist has already said, because you'll probably be very, very pissed off with the truth. But I will say this much: most people are very, very comfortable. Man, it feels warm out here, boy. Most people are very, very comfortable with an ugly lie, and they seem to love that ugly lie. So, in the meantime, in between time, this is Artist of Truth. Until next time, protect your peace, protect yourselves, but most of all, just learn how to love each other. All right? Peace and love, yo.